You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Japanese government expresses its appreciation to His Majesty the Sultan's efforts in solving regional and international issues with peaceful means. The Ministry of Civil Service issues a statement on Government Services Guideline. And rebel fighters and their families leave the Syrian city of Homs under an evacuation deal with the government. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The Japanese government stressed on the efforts of the Sultanate and its role to solve a number of regional and international issues with peaceful means under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan. This came during the Shura Council delegation's visit to Tokyo, headed by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal al-Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council. The delegation paid a visit to the Japanese Parliament, and an official talk session was held with His Excellency the Chairman of the House of Councillors, where His Excellency the Chairman of Shura Council expressed his delight and stressed on the deep relations between both countries. A similar session was held with His Excellency the Chairman of the House of Representatives, who expressed his gratitude for the Omani delegation and hailed the good relations that bind the two countries. After that, the Shura Council delegation toured the halls of both houses of councillors and representatives. It also got acquainted to the mechanisms and laws of the Japanese Parliament. Then, His Majesty Emperor Akihito of Japan received His Excellency the Chairman of the Shura Council, who conveyed the greetings of His Majesty the Sultan. After that, the delegation went to the Japanese government presidency premises, where a meeting was held with the Japanese Prime Minister. The two sides discussed a number of matters of common concern and international issues. Within the framework of implementing the decisions of the Council of Ministers to approve the suggestions of the Government Performance Development Seminar, the Ministry of Civil Service issued a statement to all governmental ministries and units that fall under Government Services Guideline. His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Omar al-Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, stressed that the guideline will contribute in facilitating the government services and will improve its level. His Excellency the Minister also explained that the Ministry completed printing the guideline to determine the governmental services, quality standards and the mechanism of providing those types of services, adding that 30 governmental ministries and units have already prepared their service guideline. The Sultanate's inflation registered an increase of 2.4% in February 2017 compared to the same month in 2016, according to latest data published by the National Centre of Statistics and Information about standard figures of consumer prices. At the governorate's level, the Governorate of North Bartana witnessed the highest inflation of 3%. The Omani students studying in Coventry University in the United Kingdom organised an exhibition to promote the Sultanate and introduce its history and civilization. It witnessed a wide participation from the members of the British community as well as the students of the university. It included various pavilions that shed light on the Omani tourism, heritage and culture. The visitors also got acquainted with the traditions and customs of the Omani people. The students also shed light on the history of the Sultanate and its beautiful nature. The visitors enjoyed the Omani Hospitality Pavilion in the exhibition and expressed their interest to visit the Sultanate of Oman in the future. Rebel fighters and their families began leaving their last bastion in the Syrian city of Homs today under an evacuation deal with the government that is expected to be the largest of its kind. The first two buses carrying rebels and their families left Al-Wa'ir district in the morning, heading for other rebel-held areas in northern Syria. Homs governor said that 400 to 500 fighters would be evacuated today, along with their family members. Under the agreement, more than 12,000 people will leave in batches over the coming weeks. The US and China pledged today to work together in addressing the threat posed by North Korea's nuclear program, as US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson warned regional tensions had reached a dangerous level. The language from Tillerson and his Chinese counterpart after talks in Beijing was notably conciliatory after a run-up in which US President Donald Trump accused China of doing nothing to control its rogue neighbor, while Beijing blamed Washington for fueling hostilities. Tillerson arrived in Beijing today after visits to US allies Japan and South Korea, where he said the US would no longer observe the failed approach of patient diplomacy, warning that American military action against the North was an option on the table. Soldiers at Paris's busy Orly airport shot and killed a man who wrestled one of their colleagues to the ground and tried to steal her rifle today. Thousands of travelers were evacuated and at least 15 flights were diverted to other cities' airport Charles de Gaulle. No one else was hurt. Police did not immediately provide a motive or identify the attacker, though the Paris prosecutor's office said he was 39 and had a record of robbery and drug offences. The office said he did not appear in French government database of people considered as a potential threat to national security. Earlier today, he fired a birdshot at officers during a traffic stop in a Paris suburb, wounding one in the face. Then he stole a woman's car at gunpoint. It was found near Orly. The anti-terrorism division was handling the investigation and had taken the attacker's father and brother into custody for questioning. Still to come in our news bulletin. Wadi Al Faras Festival for Horses and Camels is held in the Wilaya of Sohar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. In order to foster the concepts of respecting intellectual property rights among school students, the competition Respect for Intellectual Property Rights was launched in the Muscat Governorate. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi.
With the advancement of technology and innovations in various fields, protecting one's intellectual creations and innovations is indispensable. Hence, the Sultanate, and for the first time, hosted the competition Respect for Intellectual Property Rights, which is an international contest affiliated to the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO.
It is to raise the awareness within the school children about IP and how they can utilize IP to promote their intellectual thinking, to be more innovative in their schoolwork.
The competition this year is entitled Tourism and Respect for Intellectual Property Rights, and the Sultanate is the only Arab country participating in this contest due to its touristic attributes. In the competition, students designed posters aiming to urge tourists not to buy counterfeit goods. 12 posters were displayed showcasing the students' skills in portraying the concepts of respecting intellectual property.
The competition taught me that we should protect and respect others' ideas and products. The mind and the bulb here shows that they represent the ideas, and there are simple drawings here. Some of the drawings, the simple drawings, represent that the things that we can do to produce products, and the other simple drawings about the internationally cultures, and we can learn from these cultures that we make new products and we can protect them by the intellectual property. And the phrase tells about that tourists should not buy fake products.
I want to get an intellectual property right, and I want everyone knows my product and knows that I am the owner. It's a power bank, works with solar energy and movement energy, and it's for emergency situations and for the people who travel a lot.
Out of the 12 posters, 5 winners will be announced at the beginning of April 2017. and they will be honored at a ceremony to be held on the World Intellectual Property Day, which falls on April 26th in the presence of one of the senior officials of the World Intellectual Property Organization. Intellectual property is an important tool for innovation development. Teaching students how to respect intellectual property will encourage them to think creatively and produce new genuine products. Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
Police General Command in the Governorate of Buraymi concluded the activities of the 33rd Gulf Traffic Week, which was under the theme Your Life is Important. A number of activities were organized which aimed to spread the traffic culture for road users. The ceremony included awareness programs and lectures, poems on the traffic safety, and a play talked about the risks of the traffic accidents. At the end, the participants who were involved in the activities were honored. The engineering group in Sultan Qaboos University organized an exhibition under the theme Oil Syndrome. The two-day exhibition witnessed a participation from Down syndrome children and members of the community. It came to shed light on the process and stages related to oil exploration, well drilling, and others. These sections of the exhibition included a number of portraits, photos, as well as some items made by the children. It came to spread a message of awareness in the society on the significance taking care of this category of children and helping them to be more productive. More than 20,000 commercial and industrial transactions were achieved through the portal of Invest Easy in the Directorate General of Commerce and Industry at the Governorate of Dhahra during the last year. Some of the e-transactions included more than 1,000 commercial registrations and around 2,500 other transactions related to commercial registry. The project of Invest Easy contributed in the solving issues of multiple registries for individuals and refined environment of businesses for investors. The local investment institutions and funds increased their purchase of shares during the last week. This came as a step to take care of the surplus in the foreign sales. Meanwhile, the prices of shares of 49 companies during the last week's trading in Muscat Securities Market (MSM) reached more than 29 million Omani Riyals. MSM was also affected by the sharp decline witnessed by the Gulf and international markets. The MSM General Index lost 123 points to close at 5,668 points. With the participation of around 500 camels and horses, Wadi Al-Faras Festival for Horses and Camels was held in the Wilaya of Sohar. Equestrian skill shows were displayed by some horse riders. The event included some traditional arts such as Al-Rasha and Al-Azi. It also included a number of rounds, and a variety of shows were presented in between the rounds by the jockeys performing sword duels and horse races, as well as showing great artistic skills while riding the horses. This witnessed a huge attendance from members of the society and those interested in horse festivals. The participants expressed that such events highlight the relation between the jockey and his horse, in addition to such sports being part of the Omani heritage. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern parts of the Sultanate, with chances of scattered rainfall over the Governorate of Musandam. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Japanese government expresses its appreciation to His Majesty the Sultan's efforts in solving regional and international issues with peaceful means. The Ministry of Civil Service issues a statement on Government Services Guideline. And rebel fighters and their families leave the Syrian city of Homs under an evacuation deal with the government. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.